What's up, guys? This is Jake at That Fit Friend. I am joined here with Con Porter, CrossFit Games athlete. And you know what? This is kind of a serendipitous episode / interview because I think of all the CrossFit Games athletes, yourself, James Newberry, you guys are the guys that I look to the most when it comes to the energy you guys have and give off.
Thanks,
so,
brother.
dude, when I saw him in Denver, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, cheers, brother. It's a pleasure to be on, man. And I'm a big fan of James as well. So yeah, he's a good dude to look up to.
Well, sick, dude. To kick us off, man, can you just do a quick little intro of who you are for folks who may not know of you?
Yeah. So my name is Con Porter, and I am indeed a CrossFit Games athlete. Competed at the CrossFit Games 7 times, and I guess that would be my full-time job. Is a professional CrossFit athlete. One of the lucky few that probably gets to claim that as a title. Yeah, I've been in the CrossFit space for, this will be my 11th season coming up, and I'm currently training towards, I guess the goal of trying to make it back to the games. I'm 33, so I want one more big year of individual competition, and so the goal is to make the games and to try and push for a spot in that top 10.
Sick. And so last year you competed team, correct?
Yes.
How did you like team compared to individual? Like, what were the differences?
Yeah, so not many people know, but in 2019 I actually competed on the team as well. So when they did all the changes to the competition structure in 2019, they allowed sort of super teams to form, and I had a coach and friend of mine in Oz reach out to me and sort of say, look, his partner and a couple of others were looking at getting a team together. Would I be keen to do it? And I thought, with the way that the kind of competition structure worked, it would be a cool way to sort of test the waters, if you will, in a kind of way that we were pretty confident we'd make the games. I'd still get to go and experience the games and kind of go from there. So I've competed on a team in the past. It was quite a different experience though this year to that team, not to take anything away from that team. I think just the expectation and the environment was kind of unlike anything I've ever been in before. And so I really liked being on the team. But what I enjoyed the most out of the whole experience was very much the environment. Being in an environment where for the first time I feel like I was training as a professional. Like I've kind of always done a really good job of balancing training with a bunch of other bits and pieces, which, and I guess I'm going to call it the bare, like not to say that I didn't do much, but the bare minimum to still sort of stay relevant within the space, still keep qualifying for the games and sort of going into going there as well. When I say the bare minimum, that's still a lot, but it's nowhere near what these other guys were doing that I was kind of going and getting to experience. And that whole environment just reignited my passion for the sport and just showed me that there is where I thought my ceiling is probably a lot higher, and that's kind of what's pumped me up to go back and compete individually again. So I think compare the two together, they are super different. I think in some ways teams is less stressful, but in other ways it's way more stressful. And so it's learning to kind of navigate those different types of stress is a different challenge. But I didn't mind it. Like I enjoyed the environment, I enjoyed the people that I was competing and training with, and then it was kind of cool from there.
It's cool to see the ebbs and flows. So this year, another big year as an individual athlete. What are you currently training for, and where are you off to next? Because I know you're in Denver now for a week, right?
Yeah. So I'm just kind of hanging out in the States. So I'm competing in Miami in mid-Jan. I just got back from competing in Dubai, so competed over there, and had a little kind of injury to my elbow, which feels a little funky after that last workout, to be honest. It's probably a little bit more volume than I've done on it in a while. Had to withdraw midway through the competition, and then I had Wodapalooza lined up, which I'm going to compete, but also because LSKD, a brand that I work with, is doing a big launch there. Also, myself and James Newberry have just launched our own swimwear line, and so we're going to do a big launch at Wodapalooza too.
Sick.
So there's kind of a few reasons that I wanted to be there, and then I looked at sort of flying it was 6 weeks, they're 6 weeks apart. I looked at flying back to Australia and then back out to Miami, and it was going to cost me like $8,000 or around $8,000. Yeah, flights in and out of Australia just over that holiday period are absolutely ludicrous, because I think this is the first year since COVID, or since 2019 really, that we've been able to travel freely in and out of Oz, and so I think the flights kind of reflect that. The flights are just like, airlines know people want to get out, they want to go and visit relatives, they want to travel, so they're just giving us the big F you. And yeah, I said you guys can pay for it. So yeah, flights just to Miami return from Sydney were like $5.5, $6,000 when I was looking at them.
Jeez.
So now I haven't looked. It's one of those things where like I don't want to go back and look now to see if they have dropped for any reason, because I'm like, no, I committed to just staying out of Oz until that was done. But yeah, I just wanted to, like, I've got so many friends here and like special people here that I just hang out with and sort of float around. And
Sick.
I did that for 6 months last year, and I'm kind of used to that fitness nomad life. So yeah, I dig it, bro. And yeah, lucky enough to be here in Denver for at least like the next sort of week or so. So yeah, I'm pumped, bro. Just chilling out, getting ready for Wodapalooza.
Sweet. And so something on this channel that we're really big on is shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk cross-training shoes that you like and also weightlifting shoes. So top 3 cross-training shoes right now that you've enjoyed, at least over the last 5 years.
Yeah, for sure. So over the last 5 years is tough, but I think you can see them here, the Rads. So I got my first pair of these bad boys when they launched at Wodapalooza last year. And just like, the brand to me stuck out as a really cool brand, kind of coming into the CrossFit space. I liked what they were about. I liked the way they were doing things. Their branding, their messaging was sort of like right up my alley. And then it helped, like the shoes were rad to use their slogan. I really like them, the different drops. These are probably my favorite colorway, or like my favorite drop that they did. And yeah, I find them, and then I'd say my other top favorite is the Tier training shoe, which I've just started training in recently, very recently. The two of them I find sort of sit in a league of their own in terms of their like functionality across multiple different things. Yeah. So if there's a workout with running in it, for example, I still feel confident running in both of those pairs of shoes. Actually, the Tiers, I really like the ankle support that they have. I have really bad ankles.
That was one of my favorite pros too.
Yeah, and that's by far, of all the CrossFit shoes I've used, the Tiers have the best ankle support. So we did it. There was a workout that had shuttles in it in Dubai, and I wore the Tiers specifically for that, for the ankle support, because I have really bad ankles, and it's one of those things where shuttles seem to be the in vogue movement at the moment in CrossFit. Those kind of aggressive turns, which I used to do a lot of when I played rugby, but they just, you don't have that support, particularly not in a jogger, and then not in like a lot of the training shoes. So I guess they'd sit 1 and 2, the Rads and the Tiers. I'm yet to try their running shoe and their weightlifting shoe, the Tier ones, but I have them, I believe, on my way to me here in the States to kind of get stuck into. But from what I've heard, they're pretty good. I know BKG's with them, and he's been with them for a while, and we were chatting about them last season because I spent a lot of time training with him, and he was a big fan. But then I'd say my third out of all of the CrossFit training shoes,
I feel like it's tough, right?
Yeah,
like the Rad and the Tier are my top 2 as well right now.
Yeah, and for me, they sit like a level above. They 100%. Do sit a level above. I haven't tried, there's a few that I haven't tried. I haven't tried the Innovates, I haven't tried the Strikes, and I've heard good things about both of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Nano X's would probably be my next favorite, just because they have a wider toe box, but really fat feet, and so for me, that little bit of extra room at the front. I also thought that they were unreal for rope climbs. So I thought they were really good shoes for rope climbing in. The X1s I wasn't huge on. I felt that they were a little bit more flimsy, and they didn't have that ankle support, but I like the Nano X's. So I think, even though I haven't worn them probably for the last 12 months, it's only been probably about 12 months since I was wearing them. So there you go. Yeah,
that's mad funny. So I actually love the Tier, the Rad. Page trainers from Strike.
Okay.
He just did a crazy workout, by the way. These guys did so much volume.
I'm still adjusting to I've got issues with my lungs. I'm still adjusting to the altitude.
Well, dude, you're also at 5,000 elevation. It's 0 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, which is like minus 12 in real temperature, Celsius for the win.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll find off camera.
Oh my god, measurements over here.
Dude, you're telling me, man. But yeah, the Haze have been sick too, and then Innovates also are really solid. But I feel you, man. I feel like those are like the top 4. That's what I would agree with all those picks.
Well, like I said, I just haven't tried those two. Yeah. So that's for me the Nanos. But then again, like, I wouldn't run in a running workout with them. I'd probably go for a more hybrid shoe when I did have the Nano X's, and that's where I just love these. Like we had a 3-mile run in the games, and I ran in my Rads just because, I was lifting before it, so it's like, I don't really want to have to, and you weren't allowed to take shoes out, so whatever you lifted in, you had to run in. So I will run in these bad boys.
All right. And then final question for you before we hop off, because I know you need to eat. You're probably starving. Weightlifting shoes.
Yes.
Top 2 over the last couple of years.
Okay.
What do you prefer and why?
I have been wearing the same pair, and you can find some clips easily of me in these bad boys. The same pair of white and shiny blue weightlifting shoes that I was given at the 2018 CrossFit Games. Since the 2018 CrossFit Games, it'll take a pretty spectacular pair of weightlifting shoes to get me out of the house bad boy. So yeah, 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games weightlifting shoes just sit there at the top for me because I just simply have worn them for so long. Annie gave me so many new pairs of shoes over the year because she's like, those shoes are so old and gross, like why do you keep wearing them? Like they just, first of all, let's like hats off to them for the durability. I fucking wear those shoes every training day, almost every training day. Unbelievable amounts of competition since 2018, and they've stood the test of time. I liked the Nike Romelios as well, and to be honest, I feel like they're the only 2 weightlifting shoes I've really ever tried.
Nice.
So I can't have a real solid opinion there purely based on the fact that I just haven't tested a whole heap. And it's one of those like, if it works, don't change it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I'm someone that doesn't like these shoes. Like I know that those shoes are good unless I sort of start working with a shoe brand, and I'd love to kind of break those shoes in. But I was with Nike for a few years when I first kind of hit the game scene in 2014. I was with Nike 2014, 2015. So I wore the Nike Romelios and I really liked them. Like I really liked them. The second version, they came out with a third version and they just kept falling apart. I loved the shoes, but they would just break. The strap would come off. The laces would pull apart. So the durability just wasn't there. And then I just had my old faithfuls, the 2018 shoes that I'd have a pair of these Romelios, they'd break. I'd be like, fuck, go back to my 2018 shoes again. And then it just got to the point where I was like, I don't know why I keep changing out of these because they still just kind of get each other. Yeah, blood stains and shit on them as well.
Dude, legacy lifters are tanks though, because like people are like,
unreal.
they're heavy as shit. I'm like, yeah, but those sons of bitches will last.
Like you fucking hit the ground and your feet stay there.
Those things are freaking anchored.
So they're good. And then I don't know if you do much about the running shoes, but like I kind of put on a whole heap of weight over 2020, and then my running went to shit, and I was like, man, I love to run. I want to get my running back. So I invested in a pair of like Hoka running shoes. My God, they're good. They're like for anyone that sits a little heavier or has like gained a little bit of weight and is trying to get back into running, they're like pillows. It's unbelievable. So
I'm curious to see how you like the tiers. I'm actually publishing a tier RD1 for the runner shoe review today or tomorrow, depending on my bandwidth. But they've been sick, and they kind of remind me of a blend of a Hoka / a Pegasus. In the sense of like,
that's unreal.
Dude, I think you'll like them because the midsole too has like this thicker, like kind of like flared, like kind of nature to it. I felt like it was nice for giving you nice stability, but then also they are responsive enough for some faster miles. So curious how you like them.
I'm
for your thoughts.
Curious to try them out, man, because they do seem, I mean, I love them.
Now watch, you're gonna fucking try them. You're gonna message me like, dude, these fucking suck. You don't know shit.
Nah, man, I'm pumped. I mean, BK ran in them exclusively last season, and he said he thought they were really good. So,
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my Hokas ran out, and I was using the Noble runners. I didn't mind them, to be honest. Like, they were like super soft sole, which is what I kind of go for. I have really bad ankles and flat feet, so I need a lot of cushion when I'm running. Not great for running trails, that's for fucking sure. But yeah, otherwise they're good, man.
Awesome. Well, dude, before we wrap up, where can folks find you? What do you have in the works right now, business-wise? I know you and James have your business. Like, drop some plugs. Let's go.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm on pretty much just only really Instagram, and that's at I am Calm Porter. And then James and I have just launched a swimwear line. It's called LeBoys, which is spelled LEBOIZ, and we're on Instagram at LeBoys Swim. And then dude, like, business-wise, I've got a bunch of training programs. I'm kind of working on a few projects, but ultimately, like this year, my goal was to just be all in on being a full-time athlete. And so like a lot of these kind of projects that I'm super excited to get out, like stuff in the mental health space, stuff in the training space as well. They're kind of all just like slowly ticking along, but very much going to be on the back burner until the end of this season.
Awesome. Well, dude, I really appreciate the time coming on.
No
Sincerely,
worries,
means the world, dude.
Dude,
really,
I'm pumped. Thanks so
really
much.
Really does, but thank you so much. And I'll drop everything for Khan down below when it comes to his businesses, his social channels, etc. But see you guys in the next one.